revolutionary Ras Reports, a man with reason, supporting the initiative for international justice every day. More Edward Snowden leaks. So apparently the NSA has been keeping tabs on a whole list of foreign governments, heads of foreign governments, 122 names. That what they've been doing is implementing a certain program called NYMROD, which basically sifts through all these people's phone calls, internet activities, faxes, all this communication network that goes through wires. Internet sifts through it, pulls out the pieces that come from the person of interest, and puts it together, puts a little portfolio together. It was revealed in the Der Spiegel news magazine from Germany, including the names of German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, Ukraine's Julio Tymoshenko, which is I think the new interim prime minister, Belarus's strongman Alexander Lukashenko, Colombia's foreign president Alvaro Uribe, and Malaysia's prime minister Abdullah bin Haji something. So you know, the countries that they're targeting are Malaysia, Somalia, Palestine, and Peru, among some of the countries. And of course, all this information goes to all the Five Eyes, which are Canada, U.S., United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. And the GCHQ, which is the government general communications headquarters from the United Kingdom in London, is in the circuit as well. Among three other companies that were mentioned are Stellar, Citel, and IABG. And I guess that they were targeted. I take it they were targeted as well. So, you know, I think there's this idea around the world that, you know, nobody can escape the wrath of the U.S. and, you know, if you can't beat them, join them. And, you know, again, that's, if you can't beat them, join them is, I mean, you might as well blow your brains out, really. You might as well blow your brains out if you have that kind of cowardly outlook on life. If you can't beat them, join them. If somebody's doing wrong, and you think because this person's going to kill me, I better go on their side and do wrong as well, then you might as well blow your brains out. So they got a planned summit between European Union. They're calling on a couple states, but they're only calling a selective amount of states. See, here's what happened. It was a situation in Ukraine. They were trying to pull for this Novus Ordo Seclorum. And there was a couple countries in Africa that objected to it, Zimbabwe being one, and South Africa, I believe, being another one. So now they want these two countries to come to Belgium, but they're not going to let the wives go. Like of President Mugabe, his wife can't go. So, you know, and they have some sort of an excuse. You know, they don't tell them exactly, directly why they're doing this, but you can see that it's nothing more than, you know, what goes on the average level between the working classes when they have disputes as well. You know, sometimes people get emotional and then they start to play games. They start to F with you, so to speak, and that's all that's going on here. So, you know, the technology now is getting so captivating, powerful, because what they're doing is shooting ads. They're targeting people directly. They know your hometown and they know some places that you've lived, so they're going to go ahead and put an ad together for people that are from that hometown or maybe went to college with you and this and that, and they're going to target those people and use that geographic area as, you know, kind of their bait, right? And you know, what's actually being found out now is that the younger generation is becoming hip. They're wise. They know. And they see. And they realize what's going on. So they're objecting to this technology that they realize is being used in order to enslave them into a life that they don't want to be enslaved into. And, you know, of course, they're saying, well, you know, that's kind of built into the Western, you know, literature, and you know how you had Frankenstein and all this kinds of things. Well, I see what's going on. I see how the internet is being used from the Pentagon in order to conform people at a very rapid rate. But I don't think about Frankenstein. You know, every once in a while it might cross my mind, I guess. But, you know, that was just look at the movies today. Now, a lot of the movies disclose a lot of things. It's not complete truth, but they'll put in little hints because they know that there's people, that there's an audience out there that also knows what's going on. And when they see the movie, it's going to be exciting. Oh, I know what's going on. Other people don't know what's going on. I'm so smart. And it drives people to continue to try to move in the upward ranks of the cults of Babylon. So, you know, they always deny, but if you listen to them, they do speak the truth if you know how to interpret what they're saying. So this is what they're saying, is the internet shouldn't just be about point A to point B. In other words, it shouldn't just be a tool to be able to accomplish a task. It should be about a little bit of magic. And that magic is basically images. It's the idolatry that you worship. You don't want to see somebody in just plain clothes, driving a plain car, talking out plain. You always want to see somebody with something, because it's Satan. Satan is saying, come with me, I'll give you the world. That's what Satan is telling his people. So this is the ultimate sorcery that they're projecting now onto the youth. And the youth is aware, they know, because remember, unless you be like a child, you shall not receive the kingdom. Yes. So the DNA now is being pushed through the Pentagon. Pentagon is big, and they're saying, well, DNA is going to be great because when, you know, people will have lost ones and they just got little bits and pieces of limbs and this and that, we're going to be able to find out who they are. But they can already do it. So why is there all of a sudden more of a push, basically more funding for it? Because they want it to become acceptable for us to freely give our DNA, which is one thing. But then all the research that's done to uncover exactly what that DNA reveals and how that's applicable to our lives is another waste. It's like looking for that planet out in the middle of nowhere land that they just discovered beyond Pluto. It's such a great discovery because it's a planet in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, they always seem to find ways to fool people into believing what they're doing is helping people. But it's not helping people. It's only helping Satan to try. Remember, he can only try because he can't accomplish the task. But he can only try to reach those heights of the Creator.